Hi.
Zarif.
Hi, everyone. I will share attendance now until Hi, everyone. Sorry for the technical issue. Alif will share the attendance QR code. This attendance QR code will be published until 9 p.m. Then we will stop sharing the QR code. You may scan your attendance.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Ya, apa saja? Dia bicara dekat. Hah? Tapi ada. Saya baik, cuma saya. Hmm.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this Zoom call. We'll begin our session shortly, so please ensure that your microphones are muted and that your cameras are on if possible. All right, thank you. To those who just joined, please don't forget to scan the QR code for today's attendance. Yeah, the QR code will be closed at 9 o'clock. Okay, good evening, everyone. I am Bala, and I'll be your moderator for tonight's talk on industrial talk, ethical issues in accounting. Before we start today's session, I would like to request everyone to please turn on their camera and use our UTM background if possible. Okay, for tonight, we are privileged to have Mr. Noor Azli bin Muhammad Yusof with us, who is the head of Unit Performance Optimization, to share his insights on this critical topic. To start our session, I would like to invite our esteemed professor, Professor Dr. Noor Aiza, to give the opening remarks. Dr. Aiza, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Yang berbahagia Tuan Nur Azli and my beloved student. Okay, so I would like to thank everyone who I would like to welcome our speaker, okay, and I would like to thank you, Mr. Nur Azli, for your willingness to be with us today. I really appreciate that you are willing to share your experience with my students, because they has been in the class, they has been exposed with all the calculation, a bit of stories, and that. But I find that it would be great if they are able to listen from you, sharing your own experience. Thank you very much, Mr. Nur Azli. So then I'll pass the mic to Bala.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Aiza, for setting the stage for this important discussion. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce our distinguished speaker for this evening, Mr. Noor Azli bin Muhammad Yusof. So, let me give a little bit of brief introduction on Mr. Noor Azli. So, Mr. Noor Azli is the head of unit for performance optimization at Malaysia Airports Holding Berhad, MAHB, where he oversees the monitoring and enhancement of business operational excellence for both KLIA Terminal 1 and Terminal 2. So with over 20 years of experience as a leader in corporate organizations, Mr. Noor Azli brings a wealth of knowledge and expertise to our discussion on ethical issues in accounting. A fun fact, Mr. Noor Azli is also a graduate of Birmingham City University, where he earned a master's degree in visual communication. His extensive experience speaks volumes, and it's with great pleasure that we welcome Mr. Noor Azli. Mr. Noor Azli, how are you on this fine evening?
I'm good. Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. I'm very humble to be invited by Dr. Aiza and the team and the committee as well. So I hope tonight will be a fruitful discussion and beneficial to everyone.
Inshallah.
All right, Mr. Nazli, just to kickstart today's discussion, do you mind giving us a brief overview on your career journey?
Okay, just a brief one. I started off. I graduated. My undergraduate was in photography, where I completed my study in UITM. And after that, I further my postgraduate in Birmingham in visual communication, master in communication. So after I have completed my study, I started my career journey as a public relation officer at a foundation named Yayasan Pembangunan Ekonomi Islam Malaysia. Nowadays, I think they are known for Arahnu outlets. There are about 200 over Arahnu outlet all over the country. And I'm proud to say that we started off the first one, and we started off the first one. It's very difficult to start the first one, and today it is 200 over outlet throughout Malaysia. After I been working quite some time, after that I decided to further my study to Birmingham City University, So where I bought a one-way ticket, to be honest, at that point in time you can do that. You apply for university and you bought a one-way ticket and you go and study. So upon completion of my study, I decided that I wanted to be a lecturer. So I joined Ling Kwok Wing University for 10 years as a lecturer. And my last post was in Ling Kwok Wing, London, where I was the Generasi Baru coordinator, where I'm in charge of Bumiputra student scholars. At the point of time, it is from Felda and also Post Malaysia. Later on, I was offered by a subsidiary of Khazanah National Berhad named Lipat Services Sdn Berhad, and I joined them for about 6.5 years, doing school transformation. So we have quite a number of schools throughout the country where we roll out program. It was a very fun job as well. After that, I joined Malaysia Airport. So in Malaysia Airport, I started off with corporate communication as the brand manager, head of unit for brand manager. So now I'm with the performance optimization unit, where we look into how do I put it together. It's difficult when someone asks what do you do actually. I look into KPI of the both terminal, T1 and T2, previously known as KLIA 1 and 2. Look into the budget. That is very difficult thing. We look into the capex, the opex. We monitor projects, and also we look into business support. Whenever the organization needs support in terms of putting things together or connecting the company to another organization, for example, or there is a JV to be done and so on, that is where we come in place. So I think that's all, Bala.
All right, thank you for the sharing, Mr. Azli. Your career growth and career path is very interesting, especially to me. We started off with photography and then it went on to public relations, lecturing, and then now you're the head of unit management for MHB. So it's quite interesting to see how you have transitioned throughout the years lah. So
Mm.
Mr. Azli, you mentioned at the end there that for MHB, you are involved in budgeting and some sort. Is this your only role where you're involved in accounting or any sort of financial related transactions?
So during my career, I think for all role, whenever you in a leadership role, so you somehow gonna be involved in budget. You're gonna be involved in accounting as well, and also procurement stuff. So I think that is also important, because what I would like to say is during that leadership role that you on, it is very difficult for you, because you need to ensure that yourself maintain that level of ethical, level of integrity, where everything need to be done following the SOP, following the guideline. So it is easy for someone to you could misstep or you could do something wrong, with intention or without intention. So it is important you are strongly guided by the company policy and also your self-righteousness.
Oh, it's
Okay, Wala.
interesting, Sazli, that you mentioned on the ethical integrity of the job itself. So, in your team, especially as a leader, how do you ensure that this ethical behavior and integrity is well maintained?
Okay. First of all, what I if I may share, what I always practice is to always lead by example. So whenever you want your team to act or behave accordingly, it is you as leader is very important to lead by example. So whenever you walk the talk, whenever you do what you're supposed to do, your subordinate will look up to you and they will follow you. Indirectly or directly, they will do that. Secondly, to cultivate this is not a one-day job, Bala, and audience. This is something that you start today and it has to goes on as long it takes, because you need to keep on reminding your people about it. Wherever I work, I always come across people that always said, "Oh, I have worked too long. I know what need to be done, what needed to be done." Sorry. So I always come that kind of people that always said, "Oh, saya dah kerja lama, saya tahu. You no need to remind me." But I think that is wrong. Although that person has worked very long, but what he or she has done in the past doesn't mean that is acceptable during today, because the guideline might have changed. For example, once upon a time, gift policies doesn't exist in any company. So people who are in charge of contract, procurement, for payment, for example, accounting, uh, the contractor or the vendor can give them gift. For example, in the festive celebration, for example, Raya or Chinese New Year or Deepavali or Christmas, the vendor will take opportunity to give that person a gift. Sometimes the gift are over excessive. Okay, so it's okay during that time. So that practice is acceptable during that time. But today, if you look into how company has evolved when they embark on ethics, there's a lot of ethics. I think in accounting also you practice ACCA ethics, which is important for you to follow that guideline. But whatever it is, I think all organizations have ethics. For example, when you sign up to any company, the first thing that you need to sign up is the offer letter. I think the offer letter clearly stated how you should behave, what is your responsibility, and many company that they would have code of ethic that you need to follow. So what I'm trying to say is this is something that is an ongoing thing. It will not stop. When you talk about ethic, integrity, and so on, it will not stop. So you need to follow accordingly. And thirdly, what is needed from I think I have wrote somewhere. So let me look for my notes. Okay. And also, we need to have open communication. So this thing. So for example, my practice, whenever I want to meet with a vendor or contractor and so on, I usually make it official. So far during my career, I have never made an unofficial meetup with any of the vendor or contractor. So it should be an official meeting. You should have someone taking notes or minutes it, because that is something you need to refer to. And during today, in this challenging world, I could say there's a lot of temptation. So as a professional, it is very important for you to always remind yourself, your team, to be professional at any time. So being professional means that you will not do anything that could jeopardize your career, your company vision and mission, your responsibility and so on, you will not do anything to jeopardize your responsibility. Okay. Um, okay. So another point that I would like to add is to encourage ethical decision making. So what you need to do is to foster a culture where your team members consider ethical implication at their action. So whatever they wanted to do, they should think about the consequences, whether it is ethical or not to do or to take that action. uh, you could also start thinking about decision making framework that include ethical consideration as a key component. So whatever you want to do, whether it resulted in a very ethical result or decision making, so that is very important for me. I think that's Bala.
That is some very good points shared, Mr. Hazli. I think for us as potential future leaders, these are some good guidelines for us to follow by in order for us to be ethical leaders in the future. So now on to the interesting question, I think
Mhm.
which everyone here would like to know. So throughout your career, have you ever faced any ethical accounting scenarios, whether directly or indirectly? Can you share any of those scenarios with us today?
Okay. To do that, I will not mention any companies. So I would only share experiences. Okay. I used to have a boss that is very unethical. So whenever we want to do any projects and so on, he or she will ask for upfront. So if you're not familiar with the term, it is where you ask for certain amount of money before you even give awarded that project to the vendor. So what I did was during my time, although I'm very, very junior at the point of time, I just whistle blow all the way. So I reported until the board of directors. Um, Action was taken, and somehow it was not received well by your colleague. So I just want to tell you one thing, but I have never regretted my decision to whistleblow, because that is where my starting point of reminding myself that when you see something is wrong, that is where you need to do something about it. Do not stand there and not doing anything. You know it is wrong, just do something about it. I think that's all, but I think I can share.
Okay, that is quite an interesting scenario where even at that young and junior stage of your career, you made the bold move to whistleblow, which I don't think not many people would be courageous enough to do this. As you know, most executives or junior would want to build a favorable working relationship with their bosses. So making the decision to whistleblow in such a case, it's quite courageous. So in that incident whereby when you whistleblow, were there any actions taken against you or any sort of that?
No action taken against me, because that another party was found guilty and action was taken against him. But as I said just now, you are not well accepted by your colleagues, because you are known as someone that would snitch. So I just don't I don't really worry about it, because I know I'm doing something correct, and I have vision of myself in the future, that I want to be a leader that is courageous enough to do the right thing whenever it is, even at difficult time. you know that you have to get it done, so just do it.
Okay, that is, I mean, even if you got isolated by your colleagues, but if till to date you still stand by what you did was correct, it's quite an admirable decision. So, on the aftermath of this scenario, when we talk about the scenario whereby you whistleblow in the company, what was the impact on the organization itself? Were there any changes in policy or any
Oh,
procedures put in place?
that is really interesting. Due to that, because previously that organization doesn't have a proper approval guideline for any procurement thing. So it was so easy. You just created a memo, get approval from the number one boss. So he or she just signed the memo and you could award the contract to someone. So due to that, the organization has been, I think, they have awakening lah. So they started to develop guideline SOPs, or more stricter guideline SOPs to ensure that there is a process. So whenever you want to do something, you get approval through memo and so on. That one can be done, but the appointment of that contractor or vendor need to be done accordingly to the best practice guideline at that point of time. To get at least 3 quotation, you need to advertise. So there is a committee to evaluate the proposal to the price list and so on. So the award has to be done accordingly and approved by the board directors or senior management. So I think it's a good thing that happened. So until today, I have not heard any cases from that organization. I think they are more stricter today, and I think it's a good process.
How about for the workflow, Mr. Azli? Now with all these new what do you call that, procedures put in place, I'm sure it must have affected the workflow a little bit, but is it an okay price to pay for the sake of ethics?
Oh, I think if you talk about workflow, I a strong believer in process. So if the process stated you need to do 5 things to get it done, I strongly believe there is no shortcut in it. Okay. Uh, However, to complete the process, there are 5 process. For example, there is ways that you could made it a little bit easy, but it need to be done in transparency, as transparent as ever. Because let's say the first process is to advertise. In any procurement process, for example, you need to advertise. You can do an open tender, which it will take longer time, because minimum to do open tender, you need 2 to 1 month, for example, to do an open tender advertisement. But if you're doing tender by invitation, that one is a different thing, where the procurement team invite those that is with good track record, no cases and so on. That is tender by invitation. So that is more easier. You have identified the vendor and so on. The process is going to cut short a little bit, but it is being done in a transparency manner. So there is no issues in the future. So I always believe that the process is there to safeguard you, to safeguard everyone, to safeguard the management, to safeguard the company from any damaged reputation due to misconduct.
Okay, so just last question on this specific scenario from me. What? Sorry, sorry. If a similar situation was to occur again, in the future, whereby in this case you decided to whistleblow, but would there be any other different actions or different path that you might take when if deal with the similar situation in the future?
I don't think so. I will stick to my to. I always believe that I will always stick to my decision, and maybe what I could done differently is to be more wiser as I'm get into a bit as my age increase. I become more wiser and I handle people better today compared to when I was young. I think that's the only thing that I would change. Other than that, if I think I'm doing something right, I'm not afraid to express my opinion or stick to my decision, for example.
Okay, I think with age comes wiseness. So that is something that at that age you couldn't have changed. So now off from the scenario, in your opinion, what are the factors that might push someone to breach ethical behavior, especially when it comes to finance and accounting?
Okay. When it comes to finance and accounting, I think in any organization, I think that profession is the most trusted person by the organization because they handle the financial part. It is very important for you to have to have to be able to have to be strict confidential about it, because as accountant, if you could see, numbers and figures are very strategic and important. So in any organization, as accountant, some accountant, they only do numbers, they only do the balance sheet and so on. But there are also some accountant that have expand the scope, that have used their accounting talent to do business development, for example. Some accounting talent to do marketing. There are, if you look into how corporate world has evolved, there's a lot of CFOs nowadays, Chief Financial Officer. Beside, they started off by doing balance sheet, by counting, doing accounting and so on, but they evolve into a leading role. So if you could see, they also have to ensure that the mission of the company, uh, the business side of it being achieved. So that is how it is, I think, Bala.
Okay, that's interesting. So in your opinion, also, what are the key considerations that should be put in place in order to prevent unethical behavior in any organization, perhaps?
Okay. I think, first of all, you start with yourself. As a professional, as a future accountant later on, you have taken an oath. You have your accounting ethics. As I said just now, when you started working anywhere, you will sign up to your company code of ethics. I think I strongly believe all company would have strong ethic behavior. I think some of the company would stress integrity within their values. it started with you. Because more importantly, when you start working, you are not only serving the organization. For example, if you look into it, indirectly, you are also serving your country. So you need to be more considerate, because you need to know that whatever that you do does not only impact yourself, it will definitely impact your family, your organization, and also your country. Okay.
Okay, so that is one point for preventing unethical behavior, whereby it all starts with ourselves. But in terms of the organization, is there anything that an organization can do, like put in certain procedures in place, or anything that
Oh,
maybe you have done before in order to prevent people from practicing this unethical behavior?
okay, okay. I think an organization, as I said just now, must establish clear policies and code of conduct, code of ethic, for example. That one thing. Uh, Secondly, to have regular training and education, because although you have completed your study, so as an employee, the organization have a responsibility to always give you regular training and educate you, uh, especially to update you in the ethic or integrity part. So you must be reminded from time to time. For example, like my current organization, every year we sign that integrity pledge. So that is a good exercise where you take that pledge and you sign it in front of your superior. So it is like you taking an oath that I will stick to my integrity and so on. I will not do this and that and so on. That is really good. A practice. I think whistleblowing, as I said just now, it is something that people are afraid to do. I'm not sure why, but from my experience, most probably because the whistleblowing, they don't feel safe when they do that. So, but you as superior, you could encourage your subordinate or your colleagues, saying that whistleblowing is a good policy, because you could help the organization from having a damaged reputation due to misconduct. Uh, Regular audits and monitoring, I think all organizations should do that regularly, because when you do regular audits and monitoring, you could ensure the compliance with ethical standard, identify potential issues. That is also good. So you know the gap, what's going to happen if there is a loophole that you need to breach. If you don't do this, there is an opportunity for someone to do misconduct and so on. So you need to bridge the gap. Monitor behavior and practice to ensure they align with organization and ethical guideline. So that one important. I think this is something that a lot of organization did not look into. Rewarding employees for good ethical behavior. So we normally award people with high performance, but we don't normally award people with good ethical behavior. So whenever you recognize any of your team member who demonstrate strong commitment to ethical behavior, reward them. It doesn't have to be in monetary. It could be in lot of way that you could reward your team. I think another one is to foster a positive work environment. So promote culture of respect, trust, and fairness. Address any sign of toxic work environment promptly. as such condition can lead to unethical behavior. So I think that's all from me, Bala, for this question.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Azli, for that lengthy and well comprehensive answer. So, just to ask, Mr. Azli, as you as a boss, as a leader, how do you create an environment where your team, your subordinates under you, feel comfortable in order to report any unethical behavior or incidents that may occur?
Okay. In the beginning, I do say lead by example. So as a leader, sometimes you need to show them the way, but at certain time, you could also learn from them. So as a leader, you must be open enough to learn from your team members. Um, and as a leader, I strongly believe that you need to give them the opportunity and to be open enough whenever they reported something to you regarding misconduct and so on, or you come across with them the misconduct together. So you need to lead them on how and what should be done. So you need to advise them accordingly. So to me, that is very important, and also to protect them. As leader, you need to protect them. So make them feel safe, knowing that the consequences or the action that they're gonna take and so on, you are there with them to protect them.
So, just to talk about the whistleblowing policy, Mr. Azli, you mentioned that people tend to be scared whenever it comes to
Mm.
whistleblowing. So, may I ask, in your organization, are there any steps put in place in order to protect maybe the identity of those involved in whistleblowing, or what is done to protect those who are willing to stand up to whistleblow?
Okay. In a very good organization, whistleblowing policy, once upon a time, last time, in my previous company, you whistleblowing, how you whistleblow is you report to HR, okay? Previously. But today, the whistleblowing policy has evolved. Today, there is a department or unit that is reporting directly to the board of directors, which I think it is a good development in this corporate world, because they are not reporting even to the managing director or the CEO. They are reporting directly to the board. So, um, in my opinion, that is a good assurance, and it is safe, uh, because there is a channel for you to report, and the report goes directly to that department. So that department, since they are not reporting to any of the senior management, so the senior management has no involvement. They don't report to HR, for example. So there is no interference from other unit or department within the organization. They only answerable to the board directors, board of risk, for example. So that is a good development in today's corporate world. So it is safe for you to do so.
Okay, it seems there's been a development. I was also not aware of this development in whistleblowing. So, just to follow on with that, Mr. Azli, when it comes to your team or your subordinates below you, when you come across any sort of unethical scenarios or behaviors, what do you do in that situation? Do you punish? Do you? I'm not sure. How do you handle it as a leader?
Okay. First of all, you need to be able to assess the severity of that incidents. Okay. So if the incident was not done intentionally, for example, it was a mistake, it's a purely mistake or something, there is something where you, as a more senior person, you need to educate them. First of all, be truthful to them. Tell them that this is wrong. What you have done, intentionally or unintentionally, tell them this is wrong. You shouldn't do this. Bring back to the basic of things. Go back to the code of ethic or the company guideline. Show them it's stated here that you shouldn't do this and this and this and that. So you don't talk empty, because some people, whenever they talk, you need to be a little bit technical with it. So you need to refer. For example, you need to tell them where it is wrong, why it is wrong. That is very important. But if that incident was done with bad intention for personal gain, that is something that he or she should know it is very wrong from the beginning. Because for a good organization, as I said just now, whenever you join an organization, you sign the integrity pledge, you sign the offer letter. There is a code of conduct or code of ethic saying that you could not do this and that. But I think fair enough, you have been given few reminders not to do it. I think process-wise, the first thing you could do is you could also report this to the HR, or as a leader, you can also report it to the whistleblowing policy.
So I'm sure in your long career you would have had to make some severe decision regarding this before, right?
I think I could say Alhamdulillah. I think whenever I being put in charge anywhere, I think that is among the first thing that I made it very clear not to do. For there is something, don't do list. I think to date, I think I can share with everyone. During my under my supervision, I think all my people have not been caught lah doing something or I think I always reminded everyone. I think that there is something no compromise for me.
See, good to hear that. Good to hear that you have put a strict foot down the moment you have
Mm.
joined any
If,
organization.
if
So,
if I may share, Bala, it's the same thing. Like me being a dad of three, I think I also told my children is integrity or something. It is something start from you, and you should do the right thing even when it is difficult. Do not do anything that is wrong or misconduct, because that is something that is not tolerable. You are being reminded many times, but you still decided to do it. It is on you. You should take that responsibility. I told my children that. I think I told my team the same thing. Whenever you join an organization, you are an adult. You are being reminded. You are being given guideline. You agree to it. You sign up. But whenever you do something, although you have been reminded, the consequences is on you. Okay, Bala?
okay, so yeah, sorry. So okay, just to ask on your organization in specific. So when there is a new hire in your department, do you ensure that the HR goes through the code of conduct with them, or do they just like for me, I just share my experience when I joined my organization and they gave the code of conduct and thing. For me, I just tend to sign it. Just sign it. I don't read any of it. So in your organization, do you ensure that the HR department or you yourself ensure that your subordinates really go through this code of conduct to understand the guidelines of the organization?
Um, a good HR will definitely go through the code of conduct with that new employees. For example, during your induction, you should go through it briefly and so on. Um, but as a superior, I think it is also good for you to go through with your new join. For example, like myself, I always go through this part of roles and responsibility. I always go through this ethical thing and integrity thing. I always reminded them. I think the basic is you must be able to behave accordingly as a professional. But if you fail to do so, I think that is your shortcoming.
Okay, so
So
onto a
Bala,
different
next
topic.
time,
Yeah,
do not sign anything without reading.
definitely, definitely. I should probably read it first. Thank you for that. Okay, so just to ask, if for us as working individuals, if we were to see our colleague or any other of individuals from our organization who seems to be going on with the act of doing something unethical. So what are your tips that you might give to us in order to talk our colleague from not doing this, advising them basically?
I think out of respect, what you could do is to advise them accordingly. Maybe try to be a little bit technical about them, say why it is wrong and where it is stated it is wrong, so that in any organization, sometimes they think they are invincible because they've been doing that for so many years. So you could also remind them the consequences of that thing is it being found out. But uh, it goes back to principle lah, Bala. If you have reminded him or her so many times, uh, he or her still keep on doing it. So I think just report it, Bala. Just whistleblow and
Just
I think,
whistleblow all the way.
yeah, I could be the ambassador of whistleblowing, I think.
Whistleblow. Okay,
Because you
okay.
have tried your best, talk to them in a proper manner, reminded them the consequences, this is wrong, and so on. I think it goes back to yourself. To me, I always felt, even if, for example, you work for 8 hours, if I uh, go back half an hour early, I definitely myself, I already felt very guilty to the organization. I already felt like I'm bringing the money, the salary that I'm bringing, it is not worth. I didn't do the job. I cheated half an hour. So you need to have that kind of sense in yourself. I think that is something you could remind your friend or your colleague.
Okay. So let me just jump to our final question of the day. So, in your opinion, Mr. Azli, for us, master student in business administration, potential young leaders, future leaders, hopefully, do you have any advice to us regarding this issue on ethical issues in accounting? Do you have any advice, any general advice for us?
Okay. I think you go back to yourself again. Why do you even sign up to do your masters? Have you thought about it? For example, for you, Bala, why do you sign up to be to take up this course?
If I was to give an honest answer, then I have to say it was the dream of my parents, so it became my dream as well.
Okay. So what you want to do with your masters?
To be honest, Mr. Azli, I also haven't really thought much about it, what I'm going to do at master's. I just knew that once I graduated from my degree life, I work 1 year or two, then I do my master's, and then maybe I do my professional engineering, see where life takes me lah. But I just do it first while I'm still young.
Okay, okay. I think you need to sit and rethink, re-strategize your plan. I think your plan is, I think basically for young leaders, what you could do is to re-strategize your entire life, the current one and the futures, and also to look into opportunities. So there is opportunities everywhere. For example, like myself, in my career, I took another bus, but I end up at a different station. So that is an example. So you yourself must take the opportunities when it comes. But to do that, you need to prepare yourself to be able to upskill yourself from time to time. Always learning. Do not stop learning new things. Whenever in your career, in your pathway, your career pathway, for example, you will come across something that you have never learned or something that you never come across, but do not be afraid to admit that you do not know, but you will find out. So that is what I always believe in. So I always learn new things, take up new course, go online, learn from. I think LinkedIn is a good platform where you can learn a lot of things. I always share to my children as well. So this is something, an opportunity during this time. I hope that answer your question, Bala.
Yes, I think it's well answered. I also think I need to re-strategize my life now after hearing your your advice. Hopefully, as I grow older, I become wiser, lah, like you said. So hopefully that happens. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share, Mr. Azli? On any points or anything?
I think, as I said earlier, don't be afraid to do what is right, even at a very difficult time. One thing beautiful about integrity is you do it even when there is no one looking at it. You're doing it because it is for yourself. You know you have to do it, and you do it, and there is no regret for doing it. Okay.
Okay, so everyone, I think one key point, you may correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Azli, but one key point which I managed to extract from Mr. Azli's talk is it all starts with ourselves. Every single thing, any decision made, it all comes with our own character, our own values that we instill on ourselves. So that is something that I think everyone here should practice in their daily life. So I would like to thank Mr. Nwazli for that very enlightening talk and discussion. So now we have some time for questions and answers. So everyone, if you have a question, please use the raise hand feature on Zoom, and I will call you to unmute your microphone and ask your question to Mr. Noazli. All right, I think we have a question from Lynn. Lynn, you can proceed with your question.
Hi, Mr. Azli.
Hello.
Do you have do you have any tips to us as future leaders? How can we balance on making strict decision to individual involved in unethical accounting behavior between making a strict and right decision and empathy towards them?
Okay.
How to balance that?
I think first of all, in any organization, the most important thing is the company objective or the company mission. Why you are making that decision? It is first of all to benefit the organization. But to arrive there, that is where you need to have some empathy or sympathy, and you need to be able to evaluate that situation. As I said just now, if that mistake is being done unintentionally, or it is just a silly mistake, there is something forgiven, um, where you talk to that person and advise him or she, uh, that is wrong and this is how you should do it. And that learning part is also important. As a leader, you need to tell how to get it right so that he or she do not repeat the same mistake again. But as I said just now, if that mistake is being done intentionally, it is for self gain, it is with wrong intention, that is something you have to make the hard call. You have to make that difficult decision to take action against it. Okay,
Thank you for your answer.
thank you.
Do we have another question?
Bala, I think Sean raised his
Oh, Sean
hand.
raised. Okay, sorry, I missed out. Sean, you can proceed with your question.
Hi, Mr. Asli.
Hi, Sean.
Yeah, Sean here. Thank you for sharing your insightful experience with us. Since just now, whistleblowing, right, had been mentioned a few times in the discussion. So I'm thinking that for whistleblowing, it mainly works in maybe MNC, multinational companies, or maybe even in the medium enterprise. But what if like I'm in a small enterprise where it is a family business? So the boss might be the husband and the HR might be the wife and the accountant might be the sister. So at this point of time, I will be like very helpless, and who should I seek advice, seek help from? Is there any other channels that we can report all these like uh bribery kinds of things, or like unethical accounting kind of things? Yeah.
Okay. I think as accountant, from time to time, you will find unethical thing being done to the books, for example. But in your situation, Sean, that is very interesting where the owner is the husband and the wife is the HR. So, for example, as it goes back to you, uh, what you could do is just put it plainly or openly, but at the same time, if you think being there gonna damage your mental health in the long run, I think you strategically need to find another avenue to further your career. It is just a toxic place. If you stay longer, if you think so, my advice to you is do not stay too long. If that situation keep on happening, it just don't help your career growth there.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Asli. Maybe I should try to find a new job after this.
Yeah, but don't quit before you find something
Yeah, sure.
free.
Thank you.
Yeah, can we have Ashikin? I think she raised the hand just now. Ashikin, can ask your question.
Ashikin, you need to unmute. Yeah.
Assalamualaikum, Mr. Azli. So this is
Salam.
also related to the whistleblowing that you mentioned many times. So as we know, in most cases, whistleblowing would be the final resort whenever unethical behavior happens. And especially if the person is your boss, like you mentioned earlier. So what would be, before you decided to whistleblow, did you take any action? Like, did you talk to him, or you straight away jump to the whistleblowing parts?
Oh,
Mm.
okay. So whenever at that point of time, as I said just now, I was young. So I took action, straight away go and report it. I just, I'm just being inexperienced. So at that point of time, but today, if I come across it, so what I will do differently is talk to that person, get clarification, and get him to her to explain. Uh, Maybe if it is the answer is satisfying, I will not pursue. Maybe he or him has a reason. He or she has a reason. Um, if that answer still does not satisfy me, I will definitely take the different route or channel to take the next step of it. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Azli.
Okay. The most important thing, jangan takut.
Sorry, did I miss out anyone who raised their hand? Because my screen is a bit one kind. I cannot really see who is raising their hand. Any other
Any
questions,
other
guys?
questions? Yeah. Any other question?
You can just feel free to unmute immediately because I think I can't really see who is raising their hand.
Witness Warren. Unmute.
Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Azli, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very clearly.
Yeah. All right. Hi, Mr. Azli. I'm Vicky here. Thanks for your time sharing insights about our ethical talk here. My question is, in a scenario of, let's say, we are in a company, and we have a very close colleague and consider a close friend of us, is doing making some unethical act in the company, and it's our responsibility to whistleblow it to the higher management. That's the integrity that we're talking about. But how does a very good relationship or the emotions play a factor here for us to report it, to take care of our integrity and also the emotions of our friend? Will they feel bad, or yeah? I understand my question on that.
Yes. I think your question is related to Suhazlin question where you need to balance between doing right things and also to have empathy at the same time. So I think as a colleague, I think if you are really good or close to he or she, so what you could do is talk to him or her, advise accordingly. That is where, as I said just now, get technical with him, tell him why it is wrong, where it is wrong, and why you shouldn't do it, because the consequences is always there. The differences is how severe is the consequences. Whether something that can be settled within the company, or a bigger case that need the HPRM Suruhanjaya Pencegahan Rasuah, involvement or so on, or police involvement, you need to bring he or she to the reality. So talk to them. As a colleague, you have done your part. But if he or she still keep on doing what he or she thinks right, it goes back to them. It is up to his own decision. So the consequences is always going to be there. So you have did your part. So don't feel guilty, because the consequences could be really severe. Your company could shut down. For example, let's say that thing could cause your company to shut down. You're going to be affected as well. Okay. And also, some people, they are so really good at doing misconduct, but on the paper, on the procedure, it looks like someone else is doing it, because they really follow the procedure, but someone else is signing the approval and so on. But there is someone else orchestrating this whole journey. So you should be careful. Could be the one who approved or recommended is you. So that is why we could be kind, we could have empathy to this kind of misconduct people, but sometimes we have to just take the stand. Okay, witness.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Azli.
I think it's quite tough, Mr. Azli, to balance doing what is right and choosing friendship or personal emotion in this kind of situation. It's, I think, very, very tough dilemma, whether you choose your friends or you choose to do what is right for the company. Quite
Correct.
headache also.
Mm.
So, can we have maybe one last question from anyone?
Okay, Bala, maybe a
Yep.
question from me to Mr.
Yeah.
Asli.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Asli. I mean, for your talk. I mean, just
Hi,
now I
Brian.
mentioned about just now I mentioned about Vicky mentioned about the colleague. So if let's say from the perspective of the organization, so how can the organization encourage a culture of ethicals, and the guidance among the all the staff, because whatever that probably we mentioned is about the individual, but in the organization context, so how should we encourage a culture of ethical? Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Brian, for the question. I think I just want to come out. Okay, let me put it this way. So it should start from the beginning. So when you join an organization, as what Bala said just now, he just signed the code of conduct without reading it. So that is something that it should start there, because the day one your first day joining a company, all those things need to be put in place. I think the code of conduct, I think the integrity pledge, and so on and so on. And I worked before as a branding manager. So where the company branding is also important for you to have your core values. So I think some organization, they just plainly put their integrity as one of the values, because it is something that is very important, and also lead by example by everyone, including the top leaders and also the middle management, where you need to walk the talk, you need to lead by example, you need to show them that being ethical or being having integrity at all time is very important in this company or organization. uh, and also to your messaging whenever you have a town hall, whenever you have a meeting, whenever you have a one-to-one session. It is always to keep on reminding everyone, uh, that being ethical, being having integrity in this organization is appreciated and also needed for us to move together as an organization. As I said just now, misconduct always damage the company or organization reputation. So you don't want that to happen to your organization. I think plainly, if you ask anyone in this call, would you like to be associated with a company that have bad reputation? For example, does anybody want to be associated with one MDB today? I have a friend that worked with one MDB. I know he works with one MDB, but he opted out from his CV. So that is something I think keep on reminding yourself, keep on reminding everyone surrounding you. That is important, Brian. So is not a one day thing. Keep on doing it continuously. I think we will get there somehow.
Thank you, Mr. Asli.
Thank you.
Okay, so if there's no any other questions, so we shall conclude this Q&A session lah. So we have come to an end for the Q&A session for today. So on behalf of everyone here, as well as our class and everything, we would really like to extend our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Noazli for spending your time on this Tuesday evening, whereby I'm sure you would like to spend with your family on a Tuesday night up to 10 something. So really appreciate your time spent to share your knowledge and experience with us. As well as I'd like to thank Dr. Noaiza for also being here at this time with us and also everyone for attending today's discussion
But,
and their active participation.
but can I express my gratitude?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, I would like to say thank you to Dr. Noaiza, to Bala, Suazlin, and all the committee who organized this session. I just want to say I hope my sharing is beneficial to everyone. I just want to say I hope my sharing could also help someone or to inspire someone. I being me, this is me. I don't know how to express it in a different way. I hope I did not offended anyone during this session. So thank you very much, everyone. Keep in touch. I'm on LinkedIn and also on TikTok. You can reach me. All right. Thank you.
What content do you do, Mr. Azli, on TikTok? Just for
On
everyone's
TikTok, I
knowledge.
do a daily motivation thing. It is called Daily Booster.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Okay. I
All right.
post video almost daily.
Influencer.
Not really.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Azli, for your time.
Thank you, Doctor.
I really appreciate it. Thank you a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, Assalamualaikum.
All right, so
Assalam.
guys, don't leave yet, guys. Before we conclude, we will have a virtual photo session with our
Oh.
guests. So I request everyone to turn on their cameras and join us for a group screenshot.
Kena keluarkan Bala from the hide apa?
Yeah, please.
Pin.
Please retrieve.
I will screenshot for this one. Okay,
Okay.
everyone looking at the camera. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. One more time. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum and good night.
All
Thank you,
right.
everyone.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate everyone's
Right.
time to join
Thank
us
you,
tonight.
everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
Thank you, Mr.
Enjoy the rest of the
Azli.
evening. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Doctor.
Thank you. All right.